What's up, family? So, yeah, I've been doing my little new line of art, which I just got finished with this piece. It's a tribute to Dr. Sebi. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's a tribute to Dr. Sebi. I'm gonna kind of turn the light down a little bit. Can y'all see that masterpiece? Let me turn this light down a little bit so y'all can see this masterpiece. Let me see. It ain't finished yet, but it'll be finished soon. So anybody that know me know how I feel about Dr. Sebi is what I showed you. I feel like he is one of the people that was on earth that is responsible, play a big responsibility for changing my life. Like, I've been vegetarian since 98, but in the same breath, it was a lot. He woke me up to a different game because the soy that I was eating, the veggie meat and everything, after I researched and listened to him, and I was going through some stuff about 5 years ago with my arthritis, where I found out I had arthritis. It was to the point where my bones and joints and stuff would swell up, be so tense. It would hurt so bad, y'all, to the point where I couldn't even put my baby's Pampers on. Like, to pull the tape was like harsh. And I'm like, damn, I've been vegetarian all these years. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know it's not the diet. This might be hereditary or whatever, because arthritis, a lot of people in our family got it. But, however, when I looked up my blood type, it was my particular blood type, the foods to eat for my blood type. Soy was on there not to eat, on top of all the stuff that Dr. Sebi was saying, because I ran across Dr. Sebi in like 1998, but I had just changed my diet, and I'm like, nah, I'm not about to give up soy. I'm not about to give up soy. I'm not about to give up broccoli. I'm not about to give up cauliflower. I'm not about to give up white rice and all of that. And I just came off of meat. It was like, nah, I wasn't interested in Dr. Sebi. So maybe 5 years ago, I just so happened to take my friend to a little event for business, and we went to the event. And on the ride back in the car, he was talking about Sebi, but they're not. Him and his wife and his kids is not vegetarian. So he was talking about how Dr. Sebi say that soy was bad for you, and I was just like, I've been eating soy since 98. Like, I've been eating soy over 10 years. I lost a lot of weight on soy and this and that. And, I just had the know it all attitude about what I was dealing with at the time. And I came home, and when I got in the house, I could remember talking to my husband like, yo, dude try to tell me some shit about soy, and they still eating meat. Like, he can't tell me nothing about soy or whatever. At the time, I could see it in my husband's face, like he was interested to hear about soy, because basically I introduced him to soy, even though he was vegetarian when I met him. I mean, we were vegetarian. He was vegetarian when I met him, but in Jamaica, they don't deal with like meatless products for real, for real. They just eat their veggies. They eat their callaloo, their yams, bananas, and all that type of stuff. So that's what he was on. He wasn't on the whole replacement meat thing, so he didn't care to have that. So when I told him this, and it was about 3 years in that he was eating the soy, he was like, well, we should check it out. We should check him out. And I'm like, I'm hip to Dr. Sebi. Like, I've been hip to Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi say this, that. So he was like, we still should check it out. So long story short, we was checking out videos, he was breaking down the genetic chemistry for black people and saying what foods was good for them and what foods wasn't good for them, and far as our genes and everything. And when I put two and two together, like my blood type, I already say I ain't supposed to have soy though. And then he's saying all this about soy, like soy was not even made to ingest for us to eat. It was actually made for things like yoga mats and dashboards and plain things. Like it's so, it's so jacked up that they even would feed it to you. But in the same breath, I don't care about that genetically modified. Some people say, well, genetically modified, some of this, all of it is done. It ain't good for you. So more time, especially if you got arthritis or anything that you feel like you keep getting inflamed, it's the soy. So long story short, we cold turkey the soy. We flat out, we just backed off of it like we ain't need it. As we start listening to him more and get more passionate about what he was saying, we started eliminating a lot of stuff. We eliminated rice, we eliminated potatoes, a lot of stuff, and vegetarian stuff. I mean, things you consider vegan or vegetarian: cauliflower, broccoli. We start getting the whole. We start understanding how some of this stuff was God made, which was natural, which was from the beginning, and some of this stuff was just engineered by man to, create something along the way, type of thing. So, with that being said, get more passionate about Sebi. Start creating recipes with the stuff that he approved, that he was saying that was God food and of our essence to eat it because of our biogenetic chemistry. We start, being very creative with offering people this alkaline food that was tasty, and implementing that on a day-to-day basis in our diets and in the kids' diets. So that frequency, I gotta say, that was like a higher vibration when I started eating that food, and it was tasty, so I ain't had no problem with it. Because a lot of people be like, oh, well, if it's nasty, I don't want it, and all of this. Understand all that, but in the same breath, when you can make it tasty with things that is alkaline and things that is good for you, that's what you need to like focus on, trying to create something of that nature. Like, we were eating sea salt, we thought we was doing it. Basically, the Himalayan salt got so much more power, so much more nutrients than the sea salt, and so you got to take steps. So once upon a time, I was on iodine salt. You see what I'm saying? Then you step up to kosher. Then you step up to sea salt. Then you go to Himalayan. Then, whatever. But more time, that was the route that I took. And even when people say, you vegan, you vegetarian, I can't even claim that because there's so many vegetables that I don't eat. We say we vegetarian. Then they offer me some potatoes, and I'm like, nah, I don't eat that. Or they offer me some rice, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't eat that. Or not even being sorry, but, not so sorry, but, no thank you type of vibe. Corn, even corn. Like, all of these man-made foods and products, like, we know that they're not working for us. Nobody have to tell you that they're not working for us. Because they're not working for us, because we can see it. We can see it in each other's situation. We can see it in our death rate of our people. Basically, we have lived so many years beyond expectations. Black people, whether you want to consider yourself black, indigenous, indigenous people have lived longer than the average people on the planet. And with that being said, it was basically, we were in alignment with the food that we were supposed to be eating. But however, through ancestry and through environment and things like that, along the line, Our foods have been forgotten about. Our foods have been wiped out. It's things that, people don't even, people be like, quinoa. Quinoa, what's that? That's an African grain. Like, so we got to get back to the root of things. We got to get back to the beginning, because basically the end have already ended, So we're talking, when people sit around and expect the world to end, this is the world that's ending. The world that's ending is the sleep and the slumber. It's time to wake up. It's time to take action. It's time to get yourself right. If it's worth being here for your loved ones, if it's worth seeing their smiles and hearing their voices, if it's worth you being healthy enough to not go through certain sicknesses and disease, if it's worth that, then today is the day. Today is the day. And I'm not going to sit here and criticize you for yesterday. I'm just saying, today is the day. What matters to you the most right now should be your life. Because anything outside of that, it is none and void. Because if you're not here physically, basically, what's the priority? What's the priority? You know what I'm saying? Money the priority. We run into these jobs. We program everybody. Think about it. Even if you on like the West Coast, we was just talking about this. You on the West Coast, you know that majority, even if you're on the East Coast, majority of the people that gets up and go to work every day, that has this programmed schedule, which we all do, we all have had, and some of us don't. But I know my baby do. But in the same breath, when alarms ring 6 a.m, all over the whole West Coast, you see that energy signature. Everybody get up. Either half of the people hit their snooze button, so that's an energy signature, snooze. You see what I'm saying? Or everybody get up. Everybody get up. Everybody going to their bathrooms at the same time. Synchronicity. You see what I'm saying? Going to their bathroom at the same time. They go get their shower. Everybody hit their car, warming up their car around the same time. Everybody trot out of their driveway at the same time. We don't know. We just over here in our little box, remember? But this is what's going on all around you. And that energy of just being programmed is the same energy of being programmed with our diet. With the, kindergarten, you taught 4 food groups. You got to have meat. You got to have meat. They didn't really push nothing else in the 4 food groups. Yeah, they had the peanut butter, they had the protein stuff, but in the same breath, you knew where they were coming from. You knew the 4 foods that should have been on your plate. And they implemented that at an early age and programmed you with that at an early age. And we all gonna die from something. That's what that equal out to. That's what that end up equaling out to when that conversation is revisited again. That's what it's equaling out to. We're all gonna die for something. No, do your own program. Don't let nobody program you. Do your own program. Use your intuition. Use your common sense. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know y'all tired of hearing you are what you eat. But in the same breath, if you don't get it yet, you see what I'm saying? And you still running around yamming hot dogs and Roman noodles. When it's all over, information is out there. The Roman noodles that y'all giving y'all children. Even if I go get mushroom noodles, I'm still considered a vegetarian. But guess what? That Roman noodles is full of wax, full of cancer, full of GMO, artificial. You see what I'm saying? But it's quick and it's convenient, and you give it to your children. You see what I'm saying? But if somebody was to tell you like, hey, yo, you killing your kids. You killing your kids slowly. Like, That's toxic in it. Here go the information. You can check it out. You can do your own research and find out. The first thing you gonna feel like is, nah, the government wouldn't do that. Nah, the people who made ramen noodles wouldn't do that to kids. Why would they do that? You using logic. You using logic instead of using your intuition, seeing everything around us, how things change, how people dying, how that kind of food ends up in jail, in prisons, hospitals, and things like that. And how it's big to certain communities of certain ethnic backgrounds. It's called marketing and target marketing. Target marketing. Is no way I'm going to go into a corner store out here. I'm in Washington State, y'all. Matter of fact, let me turn my camera for y'all to see what it's doing in Washington State right now, because people panicking. They ain't used to this. Y'all see that? It's it's snowing like a mug. So what I got to do today is talk to y'all. I'm going to do a little cooking video later for dinner. I'm here, not going anywhere. So that's what time it is as far as that. But basically, like I was saying, it's I'm not in Washington State. I'm not gonna go to the corner store and find a 35-cent bag of Flaming Hots for kids. You're just not. They're not gonna have it in there. They're not. They rather have some some smart popcorn, or some chick pop, or you know what I'm saying. They not targeting their own surrounding like that. You know what I'm saying? But you go in areas of poverty and you can find a whole 6 shelves of hot flamings and Kool-Aid right at the front counter, right there for you to just grab as you go. And back in the day, y'all know we used to dye our hair with Kool-Aid, and it will not come out. You can wash your hair 5-6 times in that month. It's gonna take that many times for that Kool-Aid to come out. So basically, if it did that to your hair, what do you think that is basically gonna do to the inside of your stomach? What we doing? What we doing? We dying our colon? Oh, is that what we want to do? We want red shit? That what we want to do? The whole white sugar? That's what, I mean, diabetes, that's what we want? We want color water now? That's what we want? Like, nah, it's alternatives. Like, man, it's so many alternative. Mugs be like, oh, well, that food is expensive. It's this and that. Nah, but guess what? A lot of y'all get WIC for your kids too. Get a frozen bag of fruit. Frozen bag of fruit and an apple juice. Spend $19.99 on a blender. Make them kids some smoothies. You see what I'm saying? Get them kids 100% apple juice, or juice some juice. But if they ain't ready for the whole juice in the juice thing, okay, get on some apple juice. You see what I'm saying? And people be like, you know, well, I don't feed my kids that. I can sit here and say that too. I can sit here and say, oh, well, I don't feed my kids that. I don't care what they do. You know, but I care. But I care. I care about all kids. I care about everybody. I care about you. I love you. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm here. I'm not selfish, because I know it's a bigger picture, that once we all wake up and make the shift and start making subconscious decisions and conscious decisions, basically it's going to be a whole different vibration on earth. People attitudes are going to change. Families are going to start becoming more loving. You know, it's just going to be harmony. Like I told y'all the other day, harmony. We all make the music, you know? So I got to care about you. I got to. If I want any changes, if I want to see any changes, I have to care about helping you change or getting the information out there to help you change, or the inspiration, encouragement. My friend, I'm gonna tell y'all a story, and she ain't gonna mind if I tell y'all, but I remember like in 98 when I lived on Glencoe, Sharice, my neighbor, she was my neighbor then, but she family now. Love, 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 love. So, but she was eating everything. I mean, pig feet, chitlins, everything. And I remember one day she was cooking bacon, and I didn't know her that good. And she was cooking bacon, and I called her on the phone, and I was like, "Are you cooking pork?" I was like, "Can you open your windows or something, because it's tearing me up here." So she found it funny. It's like, she ended up telling me later that she was like, "Oh, she just wants some, she just missing meat. She wants some meat or whatever." And basically, I never seen her in a vision that she wouldn't eat meat. She was eating pig feed. She was eating hog maws, chilling. She was eating everything back then. Do you know that this lady had been years, over 7 years clean of that bull stuff? And she said she will never forget that day that I called her and said that. Because guess what? Now she can't even walk in nobody's house cooking pork. She can't even walk in. She know the feeling. She know what it is. She don't even want to be around it. So it's just a lore. It's a lore frequency. Like I said, it's so many shifts going on. We our spirit is getting a lot of awareness with a lot of things that's happening on earth right now. And basically, like I said, you want to be light as possible. You want to make changes that's going to activate your true self. Nothing is going to hold you back. Basically, it's not a forced decision. It's just getting more. It's about getting more knowledge and more knowledge and more clarity to make more healthier choices. And if you're not gonna make them for yourself, at least make them for these children, because these children are the ones that we are depending on. They can't run around eating shiitakes all day with red number 40 and all this shit going to their brain. How are we going to depend on them as elders? How are we going to depend on them? Really? You know what I'm saying? If the 100% cell phone use and shiitakes will take anybody mind out of the game. Mind, body, and soul. So, I'm just letting y'all know. Going live later on today. We're going to do some cooking and conversation. Cooking while convoing. So, tune in for that. I can't tell y'all a specific time, but it's going to manifest today. Y'all see that snow. So, love and light. Till next time. See y'all. Peace, fam.